guess what I just got on this BuzzFeed quiz?
Mate, we're meant to be studying. We have exams soon.
Lol, apparently I'm a private school kid. You should give it a go.
So stereotypical.
What?
According to Tate here, see? A stereotype is when an assumed image of a group is applied to all members.
Whatever.
On Sunday night, our families watched an episode of The Simpsons, which led to a discussion about socioeconomic status and media stereotypes.
Well, class, I don't mind leaving you because one of you is my spy.
Yo, this is true. All my teachers are so unprofessional. They're also moody, and I swear none of them can teach. Legit, I swear this is because public schools don't get adequate and qualified teachers.
I disagree. Teachers are under a lot of pressure to perform by the government and parents as well as standardized testing. Most teachers work extremely hard to provide students with good education, dedicating their own time to ensure the best outcomes for their students. All schools have standards when hiring teachers.
What is standardized testing all about?
Standardized testing allows parents to see how schools perform in relation to other schools through tools such as My School website. It generally shows lower socioeconomic schools as lower performing, but testing reveals that schooling systems in low socioeconomic communities are under-resourced, which can affect students' academic progress and overall outcome, as argued by Atkins and Barban.
The government has introduced the Smarter Schools National Partnership for low socioeconomic communities to address the needs and focus on transitions into further studies, work, community participation, and focus on school leadership, quality teaching, and community engagement.
Nelson, you're off to Arkham Elementary School for the criminally insane.
There are people just like Nelson at my school. They do drugs and roam around in gangs and skip school. They definitely come from low socioeconomic areas.
But how do you know that? Not all low socioeconomic students are violent or problematic. Many genuinely care about their education and want to make a difference in their families' lives. Take me, for example.
Yeah, this stereotype can limit low socioeconomic students as they are perceived as problematic, and teachers consider them not worth making the time for. In fact, Daniel said there's no longer a statistically significant difference in the test results when socioeconomic status is taken into account.
The problem is that they generally don't believe in themselves and their capabilities, and sometimes it's the same thing with the teachers. They just don't believe in them.
Same. I always thought the idea of education was to learn to think for yourself.
At these boys' age, not on your level.
What is this? This is some another private school thing again? Kids these days are rich, money everywhere.
Actually, independent schools can be quite diverse in their demographics. In fact, Daniel states that independent schools are chosen by a range of income statuses.
But what's the point in private schools anyway? Isn't it the same thing, but it just costs more?
I guess you could look at it that way, but independent schools actually cover a range of schools. There are some for disabilities, religious beliefs, educational theorists, and there are also Indigenous schools, which teach both the Australian curriculum and Aboriginal teachings. Not only that, but there are independent schools that charge very low fees. For example, the Warrawa Aboriginal College.
Hegemony is a large part of many societies, though many often think we operate under a meritocratic system.
What?
Hegemony is the idea that social and economic power rules, rather than mediocrity. Mediocrity is the idea that your ability and hard work rules.
Did Daniel tell you that again?
No. Actually, Tate told me this.
There is this belief that independent schools are overfunded by the government. However, in reality, the majority of independent schools sit below the public funding entitlement. Unlike government schools, which are almost 100% government funded, independent schools receive most of their funding from parents. Meaning, on average, funding growth for government schools will be 24% faster than that of independent schools.
So you're saying it is important to recognize that Australian government funding arrangements mean that high-charging independent schools receive the lowest amounts of public funding?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Doesn't that mean
we should be challenging the stereotypes?
Next week, join our families as they watch and discuss their aptitude for shows such as Survivor, The Bachelor, and more on Gogglebox.